finally, last but not least, is Dave Ludansky, who is State Representative for the 39th Legislative District and the Chairman of the Finance Committee. You know, when I was watching this film, I was thinking of ways to describe it, and I was thinking the stories I saw were sad, terrifying, informative, shocking, and appalling. And I think two people who were interviewed in the documentary had it right. And the first one said, I think we have a problem, and I think we do. And then the second person said, and it kind of echoes what Ron was saying, that we need to get together, we need to speak with one voice, and we need to stand up to those, I'll say, a-holes, or the younger people in our crowd. So that having been said, we'll start this panel discussion by a question that I'm going to pose to our panel, which is, what was your impression of the documentary, and how do we address the issues it raised? So if we want to start with Dan, if you'd like to go first.
Well, I first off want to say that it is pretty telling that yesterday, stopping about noontime, we've had a catastrophic event. A major gas release at a gas well pad in Clearfield County, up around Du Bois. Also putting out over somewhere around 1 million gallons of frac fluid. Details are kind of sketchy at this point. It's really important to think about this in light of potential drilling in Lincoln Place for other kinds of very populated areas. We have done a very quick study today. We're going to do a more in-depth study at the Center for Healthy Environments and Communities, looking at this issue. But if this would have occurred in Lincoln Place, at a minimum, we would have had to evacuate one high school, 2 major middle schools, 5 elementary schools. We have numerous ignition sources in the area, functioning industry that could conceivably blow up if you have gas that's between the lower and upper explosive limit. These are real problems, and the state, as well as FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has in no way addressed this. There has been no training for first responders. We know that people come up with respirators. We have seen cleanups where people are not wearing respirators. These are very, very important occupational health as well as environmental health problems. So I'm going to just conclude with saying that that we are also at the University of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public Health starting a study. You see people walking around who would very much like you to sign up to have a formal interview regarding health problems and environmental problems, but also community-related problems that are occurring in your area, things that are impacting you. Additionally, we would like to see people sign up to have water testing and a well water study that we're conducting, as well as an air monitoring study where we're going to look at personal exposure of people who live both near and far as a control, so it's scientifically valid from these Marcellus Shale gas extraction points. Thanks.
Go straight down.
Repeat the question. Is it reaction and it was reaction? What else?
Let me pull it out. So what was your impression of the documentary, and how do we address the issues it raised?
I was asked to come here tonight because I have a law degree, so I'm supposed to address the legal implications of what's been going on. And my analysis of the film was perfect. It didn't miss a beat. And it's sad. There isn't a law that protects human dignity. There isn't a law that protects your right to farm or your right to enjoy your life. There's a couple ways you can maybe create that. You could sue. You could try to fight things out over the long haul. But you'll get hung up with causation. You'll get hung up with assigning dollar value to the enjoyment of your life. And the companies know that. The laws are not adequate right now to protect you. The things that were cited in that documentary, I racked my brain, asked other fellow attorney, waterkeeper, see anything in it that didn't sound right? No. It's that bad. It's not to scare you. It's not to suggest that there's no hope. But there's a role for people to speak up. There's a role for people to contact legislators and contact representatives. And there are a lot of things that I'm glad to see Natalia here, but I know there's a couple of state Supreme Court cases that came out last year that state very clearly that municipalities are preempted by the state for regulating gas in any way. That's the truth. That's the case, two cases that came down in 2009. That's the state of the law right now. The legislature can change that. The legislature can empower people, but they have not to date. And that's hopefully what this film can bring.
So first off, I do want to thank Josh for an excellent film. I teach environmental biology at Duquesne University, and I do a lecture to my students on energy. And this past fall, I said, I've been hearing a lot about Marcellus. I need to bone up on stuff. So I spent about 2.5 hours on YouTube and educated myself. And I could not believe, because I'm what you might call a geomicrobiologist, I actually study microbes that live in the subsurface. And I spent the last 15 years of my life here in Pittsburgh studying arsenic. Okay, so the bugs that I work on, the microbes I work on, arsenic is food. So there isn't anything out there that certain microbes can't live on. And one of the most remarkable things for me was discovering that they were actually pumping into the subsurface something that those microbes a mile down need, and it's water. Okay, so the interesting thing is that there's all sorts of interesting chemistry and biology going on in the subsurface that these guys don't have a clue about. But they kind of know because they put a biocide in the material. Okay, but that's just one impact. Then I went to this DEP hearing, and I was really, I think it was one of the best things that I did because I got to meet Ron Gullah. And I found out that, no, it's not happening out west. It's not happening in Texas, just there. It's happening here. And again, getting on 79 South, you go about 15 minutes, get off of the Bridgeville Exit, take a left onto Route 50 West, and there you are in GasLand. Okay, it's happening here. So, as an ecologist, I'm worried about the water drawdowns. I found there was a conference a couple of weeks ago at Duquesne University that the Pennsylvania Environmental Council held on Marcellus, and it was disclosed that 5 waterways in western Pennsylvania are now marine. And why are they marine? Because of the salt from the fracking solutions. Okay, so things are happening. So we've got the drawdown of the fresh water. We also have the produce water being reintroduced legally into our waterways. Okay, it's changing the ecology of Pennsylvania. So that's what I'm concerned about. And thanks. I'll make a note that Dan, I'm thankful to Dan because we were able to get a sizable grant from the Heinz Foundation. One thing you might not know is that these companies don't have to do an environmental assessment. So it's up to us to do the water testing. It's up to us to do the air testing. And it's up to us to do the ecological assessment before these folks move in. So that if something does go awry, we have the proof. So we're working on it.